shit. This is some crazy freaking wind. Oh my gosh. Oh lordy. Oh, that's it. In the early hours of November 4th, 2022, the Storm Prediction Center issued an enhanced risk outlook for portions of northeast Texas, southeast Oklahoma, and far west Arkansas. That outlook came with a large area of 10% tornado risk, along with a hatched significant severe area, covering most of the 10% risk area. Driving through southern Oklahoma that morning, the low cloud bases and eerily warm temperatures seemed to provide a great setup for a large-scale tornado event. Later in the morning, the SPC updated the outlook to a smaller area of moderate risk alongside a 15% tornado risk just inside the hatched risk. I set my targets on the town of Sulphur Springs, Texas. At 2 p.m. Central Time, the SPC issued a tornado watch for most of northeast Texas and eastern Oklahoma.
Favorable for the development of severe weather, including tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds.
Heading east on Route 81, I found myself in my first tornado warning of the day, earlier than expected. Although there was a good velocity couplet on radar, the high precipitation storm mode made it a rainy, blobby mess that I decided would not be worth pursuing. Seeing several low precipitation discrete supercells forming down near Waco, Texas, I rerouted south towards Greenville to try and catch one of these supercells, but they slowly dissipated once again into rainy blobs, leaving me wondering whether anything would actually happen that day. It was 4 p.m., almost the end of the expected arrival time for discrete supercells, and the cold front was rapidly approaching that would kill any storm that would try to form very soon. Little did I know what was about to take place. Out of nowhere, a discrete supercell formed near Wills Point, Texas, heading northeast, and it was almost instantly tornado warned. I quickly sped south into Rains County, Texas, to try and intercept this supercell.
Rains County. So, I guess the name is pretty accurate.
Eventually, I ended up in a Dollar General parking lot, waiting for the inevitable. Soon after, the tornado warning was extended into Emory and Point, Texas, where the tornado would end up crossing. As large cloud droplets and pea-sized hail began to fall, I realized more may be coming and moved west to an area of better visibility. I set up in the driveway of somebody's ranch house where they were out front taking photos. Maybe not the best idea when a tornado's heading your way. A nice man pulled up behind my car, and we had an interesting conversation about the supercell that was quickly approaching. I made it clear that he should probably be getting out of there as he had no sort of storm chasing experience and might be in danger if he continued to stay in the area. Let's get out of here, man. As he packed up and left, I did the same, seeing that the rotating winds were now almost right over me. As I was racing away from the tornado, it was causing damage consistent with winds over 120 miles an hour just behind me. I decided to give the beast some space, seeing as it almost cost me my car, maybe even my life. I decided to reroute through downtown Emory and then to head north before the tornado crossed into the city of Sulphur Springs.
I was cranking. I was going like 90 earlier trying to get away from that thing. Sorry about the shaky footage again. Like I said, I got my hand. I'm filming by hand because I can't put a tripod out the driver's window, at least not yet. I gotta figure out a solution for that so I can start doing that. Also, this aperture might be a little picky right now. Whoa. Sound like a little fanboy, but dang, look at that. Alright, at the light, make a left.
As I rerouted through downtown Emory, chaser traffic was clogging up most of the downtown area, which made following the storm a total nightmare. This is why many chasers suggest avoiding downtown areas when chasing storms.
There's stuff flying around. Oh, it's about to cross. So I'm wondering whether the main circulation at this point is the thing we're looking at directly ahead. Because it looks like there's a main circulation coming down off of that. Or whether it's over off to the left on that other lowering. I have no idea.
As I was heading north towards Sulphur Springs, the tornado became almost completely rain-wrapped, obscuring the tornado from most angles.
And the thing up there, but that doesn't look to be it. Oh wow. This might be a wedge. I'm gonna double check, but it's touching the ground. This is a tornado on the ground.
From my angle, the tornado appeared to be
Let's check the radar.
morphing into a large wedge tornado.
Oh, it looks like
However, most of that appearance was coming from the rain wrapping around the tornado, which most likely at that point looked more like a cone shape.
I've officially seen my first real, big, unobstructed tornado. This is it. We did it. Together. It looks like this thing's becoming rain-wrapped.
Excessive flooding on the roads made me pull over for a second to reassess the situation and ponder whether I should continue going after this storm, seeing that there were reports of excessive damage up north in downtown Sulphur Springs, and many chasers themselves had pulled off to the side of the road, so I decided to do the same. I decided to continue a little further and take a cutoff just before the city of Sulphur Springs, seeing as there was heavy damage and it likely would not be worth it. When I arrived at the cutoff, I could hear the eerie tornado sirens.
This over here is what's left of the tornado. That was crazy violent.
I'm really hoping that everybody in the path was okay, but I saw a bunch of ambulances going by, and that worries me a bit. I might come back here later after I finish chasing this other tornado and check to see how bad it was, because I'm really worried about that one. That one looked like extremely strong. So. It looks to be mostly a wall cloud now. I don't know if it's still on the ground. Those trees are blocking me, and I've left it. It got rain wrapped, and I was too close. I got blown off the road quite a bit. And when that happens, you just don't want to risk anything, and I didn't. Seeing that the Sulphur Springs tornado was now a lost cause, I decided to reroute southeast towards Winnsboro, Texas, to try and get a glimpse at another supercell that was newly forming. As I pulled off for a second to get my bearings, I couldn't help but notice an eerie purplish yellow color in the sky, something I had never been familiar with in all my times storm chasing. I continued southeast through Picton and down towards Winnsboro, Texas, and set up my camera and tripod behind an old apartment complex, trying to capture a glimpse of this beautiful storm. What I got was a beautiful show of light and color as lightning bolts ripped through the local landscape. It was one of the most intense lightning shows I've ever seen. It also allowed me to get a glimpse at beautiful striations and rotations in the clouds that could only be associated with a tornadic supercell thunderstorm. It was a beautiful show of nature's strength. I then proceeded northeast towards Pittsburg, Texas, to try and catch another tornado forming in that area. When I arrived, I was greeted not by a tornado, but by a murky curtain of rain, along with a barrage of lightning that made me reconsider my choice. Figuring that once again I would not get a beautiful photogenic tornado out of the storm, I decided to try and chase one more storm that was forming north of me near Clarksville, Texas. Despite going way too fast on the highway, I did not make it to the storm in time, and at the last second abandoned the storm, seeing as there were already reports of heavy damage in the path, and considering that it was now nighttime, and once again any good photography of the storm would likely be impossible. The Clarksville Idabel tornado would end up causing EF4 level damage, destroying houses and sweeping the foundations clear of debris. It looked like a total apocalypse. In all, during the November 4th through 5th tornado outbreak, 31 tornadoes would touch down, including 2 EF4s. The damage from this outbreak was immense, and it greatly affected many communities in northeast Texas, southeast Oklahoma, and western Arkansas. In all, this outbreak would only claim 3 lives, making it a near best case scenario for an outbreak with multiple large destructive tornadoes. Well, that's it for now. Sorry this video took so long to come out, but editing something like that gives it a disgustingly large file size, and YouTube likes to take its sweet time with those. Anyways, stay safe, y'all.